I used to believe love was about building a future with someone who accepted you, flaws and all. That's what I thought I had with Melissa. It started simply, a coffee shop, two strangers, a spilled drink, and a conversation that lasted 3 hours. She was everything I never expected, a beautiful single mom with 3 kids, juggling work, motherhood, and chaos with a strength that both intimidated and inspired me. At first, I kept things casual. I wasn't looking to be anyone's savior, especially not a father to 3 kids I didn't know. But Melissa had this way of making you feel like you mattered. She listened with intent, laughed like she meant it, and when she touched your arm, it stayed with you like a spark. Within a few months, I found myself doing things I swore I wouldn't. I was helping with homework, attending PTA meetings, and watching Disney movies on Fridays with popcorn-stained fingers and a little head resting on my shoulder. Her kids weren't just a part of her life, they became part of mine. Emma, the oldest at 10, was reserved but smart, always watching, always analyzing. James, 7, had boundless energy and a fascination with dinosaurs. And Lily, the baby of the group at 4, stole my heart the day she called me Daddy Jake without prompting. I didn't correct her. In that moment, I didn't want to. But love isn't blind. It's just hopeful. And in my hopefulness, I ignored the signs that something wasn't quite right. Melissa often got late-night texts that she said were from her sister. She'd smile at her phone when she thought I wasn't looking. She'd disappear into the kitchen to take calls. I told myself I was overthinking things. I didn't want to be the jealous boyfriend. Then there was her ex Brandon. The biological father of the kids. According to Melissa, he was a loser, irresponsible, jobless, and toxic. She claimed she wanted nothing to do with him, yet he always seemed to be around. Dropping by for the kids, staying longer than necessary, texting her to talk things out. One night, I brought it up. We were having dinner, spaghetti and garlic bread, the kids already asleep. Do you still have feelings for him? I asked gently. She dropped her fork. What? Of course not. Brandon is part of my past. You're my future. I wanted to believe her. I did believe her. Because love, real love, meant trust. So, I let it go. 6 months later, I proposed. It was a quiet evening, just us on the porch swing after the kids had gone to bed. I gave her a simple ring, nothing flashy, but it sparkled in her eyes. She said yes through tears. That night, I held her like I had everything I ever wanted. We started planning a wedding. The kids were excited, asking if they could wear matching clothes. Emma wanted to be the flower girl, James the ring bearer. Lily just wanted cake. Life felt whole. Then one Friday, everything fell apart. I had left work early, wanting to surprise Melissa with takeout from her favorite Thai place. The kids were spending the night with her mom, so I thought we could use the evening to relax and connect. When I pulled into the driveway, her car was gone. I figured maybe she ran out for groceries. But then I saw something on her phone's shared location. Yes, we shared locations. Just for safety, we said. She was at a cozy little Italian bistro downtown. Odd. I decided to surprise her there. I parked a block away and walked in, Thai food in hand. The restaurant was dimly lit, small, romantic. As soon as I stepped in, I saw her, Melissa, sitting in a booth, laughing. Across from her was Brandon. They weren't just talking. They were holding hands. His thumb was tracing circles on the back of hers. I froze. My heart didn't just break. It shattered into sharp pieces that sliced through my chest. I turned and left before they could see me, dropping the food into the nearest trash can. I sat in my car for an hour, staring at the steering wheel, trying to breathe. I didn't sleep that night. I didn't call her. I didn't need to. The image was burned into my mind. My fiancée, the woman I was going to marry, the woman whose kids I loved like my own, was back with her ex. But I didn't know then that the worst was yet to come. The next morning, Melissa came home like nothing happened. She greeted me with a tired smile, saying her mom had kept her longer than expected. I stared at her, trying to find the right words, but everything caught in my throat like glass. She kissed my cheek, and I flinched. She noticed. "What's wrong?" she asked, pulling away. "You tell me," I said flatly. "How was dinner with Brandon?" Her face drained of color. Silence. A pause. Then came the lie. I ran into him. It wasn't planned. "Melissa," I said, voice steady, "I saw you. Holding hands. Laughing. You were on a date." She sat down slowly, like her legs gave out. "It's not what you think." I stood across from her, arms folded. "Then tell me what it is." Because from where I stood, it looked like the woman I was going to marry is still in love with her ex. She didn't speak. Just cried. Silent tears rolling down her cheeks. After a long pause, she whispered, "He's the father of my kids, Jake. A part of me will always feel something." That broke me. "You said he was toxic." "A mistake. That he didn't care about the kids." "I know," she sobbed. "But he says he's changed. He wants to try again, for the family." "And what about me?" I asked. "What was I? A babysitter while you figure out your feelings?" She didn't answer. I packed a bag that night and left. She begged me not to. Told me the kids would be devastated. That they needed me. But what about what I needed? I moved in with a friend across town. The silence in that apartment was suffocating, but it was better than the betrayal that echoed through every room of Melissa's house. Over the next few days, I got texts from her. Some angry. Some apologetic. But the worst were the ones from the kids. Emma sent a voice note, "Why did you leave, Jake? Was it because of Mommy?" James drew a dinosaur family, with me in it, and left it in my mailbox. Lily sent a video of her holding a sign, "Come home, Daddy Jake." I cried harder than I ever had. Melissa called me a week later. "Brandon left again," she said. "He said he wasn't ready." He packed up and walked out. I didn't even flinch. "You knew who he was. And you still chose him." "You're right," she said. "I messed up. But the kids, Jake, they miss you. They still need you." That one sentence crushed me. They weren't my kids. But they felt like mine. And now I was supposed to step back in and raise them while their mother toyed with my heart? "No," I told her. "You don't get to cheat, lie, and then ask me to be the hero." Click. That was the last time I spoke to her. But it wasn't the last time I saw the kids. Not a few months passed. Fall turned to winter. I was doing better. A new job, a new apartment, therapy once a week. Slowly, the pieces of me that Melissa had cracked began to mend. But not a day went by when I didn't think of the kids. One Saturday morning, there was a knock on my door. When I opened it, I froze. Emma, James, and Lily stood there, bundled in winter coats. Behind them, Melissa. "I'm sorry," she said, eyes red. "They begged me to see you. I didn't know where else to go." I stepped aside, letting the kids in. The moment the door closed, all three ran to me, hugging me tighter than I ever thought possible. "Daddy Jake." Lily squealed. James whispered, "Please don't go again." I hugged them back, eyes watering. Melissa sat quietly, watching. She didn't speak, just let it happen. We spent the afternoon together. I made grilled cheese sandwiches, James' favorite. Emma helped me with a puzzle. Lily climbed onto my lap and told me about her new school. When it was time to leave, Emma looked up at me and said, "Why can't you just come back?" My heart ached. "Sweetheart, I wish things were different. But sometimes, adults make mistakes. Grown-up problems that kids shouldn't have to deal with." They looked confused, but nodded. I kissed each of them on the forehead. Melissa walked them to the car, then came back to speak to me one-on-one. "I'm sorry," she said again. Not just for what I did, but for how I tried to keep them from you. I thought I could fix everything by bringing Brandon back. But all I did was ruin what we had. I nodded. You didn't just hurt me. You broke something in them too. She looked down. Would you consider seeing them? Not as a partner, but maybe as someone in their lives? I thought about it. Long and hard. I'll be there for them, I said. But only if you understand I'm not doing this for you. I'm doing it for them. She agreed. From then on, I visited once every 2 weeks. I helped Emma with her science projects, took James to the park, read Lily bedtime stories. I wasn't their father, not by blood, but I was there. It hurt sometimes. To be so close to the life I once dreamed of, yet know it could never be mine. But I chose peace over pain. Closure over chaos. One evening, as I was leaving their house, James ran to me with a drawing. It showed a stick-figure family, a mom, 3 kids, and me. He labeled it, my real dad. I looked at Melissa, who smiled faintly. Tears in her eyes. I smiled back at James and whispered, thank you, buddy. That means everything. As I walked away, I realized something profound. Sometimes, family isn't about DNA or shared last names. Sometimes, it's about who shows up and stays. That goodbye didn't end a chapter. It opened a new one. One where love looked different, but felt just as strong.